Finally joined by the one and only Viddal Riley. In his car journey, he's living life as he's got a fight coming up also. But before we get into anything else, Viddal, how you been keeping, bro? How's everything?
I've been good. You know, everyone was negatively affected by, COVID season. I would say it had its positives. For me, the only negative was that it led to ring inactivity. But besides that, I still made COVID work for me. And yeah, I'm just ready to get back in the ring now.
First of all, let's talk about the card. You're 23 years of age, right? So you're a year older than me. And, you see Mike Tyson towards the end of part of his career. And when you're going into boxing, you'll see a bits and bobs. Did you ever think you were going to be on the undercard of a Mike Tyson fight? Like, it's bonkers.
Yeah, no, I didn't. You know, the end of his career, I was about 8 years old. So I wasn't expecting to ever be on the same card as him. Yeah. To think that we're on the same show, and it shows anything is really can happen, man. Anything can happen. You can't really project or predict life because, the guy's in his 50s. I thought he'd be doing a pundit job or just doing what he's doing with his podcast, his Tyson Ranch, and now he's going to throw hands again. So, yeah, man.
Obviously, we can't miss the fact that Jake Paul is on the card now. We know the relationship with Jake and JJ and then your involvement. But what stood out to me is what you said, I think, a couple of days ago about, you've got nothing against Jake. It's not your, rivalry. It's his and JJ, so you respect him. A lot of people were like kind of taken back by that because it was like, natural instinct. Oh, you're on JJ's team. You shouldn't be saying stuff like that. Well, what's your sort of response to that?
My response is this. If Jake Paul was really the only enemy in life I had to worry about, I'd be living a very good life. I'd be a very happy man. If Jake Paul was the priority of my enemy list, then yeah, my life would be great. But it's not the case and never has been. Yeah. They have their beef. If Jake and JJ had animosity because of something that starts away from the sport of boxing, that's completely different. If Jake Paul disrespect JJ's mum, family, brother, whatever, and then that's why they're enemies, then of course I ain't gonna be cool with him. But if you lot's beef is over putting on gloves and hitting each other, then I don't have no beef with you because me and you are not on the same level. We're not in the same category of fighting. Yeah. So I don't need you to be my nemesis. You don't see JJ walking around saying Lawrence Okolie is my nemesis because Viddal could fight him one day. So why am I doing that for him?
Of course. No, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, like I respect Jake because he's the same age as me and he's made a good living for himself and he's made a brand that's gonna last a very long time. Hopefully, and I like what he has done by creating that and putting himself in positions where he's co-main event on Mike Tyson, Roy Jones cards. Like, how can you really dislike someone for achieving things that most 23-year-olds can't even think about doing? Yeah. So that's why I said I respect him. And of course, if he fights JJ, there's only one side I'm backing, one side I'm defending. But once that fight's done, that's it. It's done. That's how boxing should be. You should respect each other that you both went to battle and move on. It's no long-lasting hatred. If there's no real thing to fuel and fire that, then that shouldn't be the case.
I think it's more like the younger generation of, people who follow JJ and yourself that might take it in a certain way. But maybe a lot of the fans that watch you might actually wonder what JJ thinks of it. I'm sure he understands like the mutual sort of respect between you two.
Oh no, of course. Like, listen, JJ's not about to message me and be like, "Why do you respect Jake Paul?" Like, I'm my own man. He's my guy, but I'm my own man. I'm entitled to my own opinions and decisions, as he is too, as anybody is.
We're gonna do a little segment right now. It's called YouTube Fantasy Matchups. I'll put a little something together. So one of them, there's 3 fights. One of them is pretty unlikely. Another one is maybe happens, maybe not, and one, I think we all know which one it is, but we'll get to that at the stage. But fantasy matchups, you're going to give me your winner and a good reason why, solid reason why they would win. So let's go through it. The first fight we've got on is Logan versus JMX. This is the most unlikeliest one, but I think it's a good matchup.
This is a boxing match, right?
Mm-hmm.
JMX wins. because he can actually box. Like
Yeah.
he to this date, go watch it. JMX versus Coach Richard, best boxing performance ever in YouTube boxing. Don't worry about anything else. Just watch that fight. Best technical boxing that I've seen from any YouTuber is JMX.
Yeah.
So JMX wins that fight.
Yeah, I was actually I can sort of side with you on that because Logan has definitely got skill, but from what we've seen from the two JJ fighters on the night, it's almost a little bit different. And JMX on the night has shown that he'll come out and he'll show his ability.
Listen, he's a tough guy. I've hit him hard.
Yeah.
He's got up and taken it, kept it moving. So I know, anytime someone mentions JMX in boxing, I can't really vote against him.
Ooh, fair enough. All right, so the next matchup, we've got Deji versus Gib. Obviously, you've trained Gib. I think you've done some bits with Deji as well. You know them very well. A matchup I would actually like to see. What do you think?
It's a very 50-50 fight. It's a very 50-50 fight. Obviously, I'm siding with Gib. I don't go against Gib ever. But it is a 50-50 fight because I know if Deji actually put his mind to it, he probably would be the best boxer. Because he's better than his brother. But he just doesn't put any work in, where his brother puts 100% work in.
Yeah,
that's the difference. But natural ability and talent. When I first took Deji on the pads, he was better than JJ.
Yeah.
And he's better than Gib, but he don't train. Gib trains. Gib grafts. So that's what makes the fight 50-50. Is it depends on how serious he takes the event or takes the fight. But I'm going with Gib anyway. That's my final answer.
He's put some videos up here and there saying he's gonna make a return many a times. Have you spoke to him? Do you know what's going on with him? What's he up to boxing wise?
I don't speak to Deji. I don't speak to Deji. Me and him are blessed from a distance.
Oh,
he's
fair
one
enough.
of those people. You gotta be blessed with them from a distance. But yeah, he's doing his thing. But I haven't caught up with him personally. No.
All right, fair enough. So yeah, that's definitely one I'd like to see. And then obviously the big one. How can we not talk about it? KSI versus Jake. Hopefully taking place, like we mentioned, end of next year. What a fight! I mean, in terms of like captivating like the attention of the UK and the US. The Logan fight was one thing, but this one, I think with the little beef they've got going on, the heat, it's going to be definitely one to watch. And with Jake's performances over Deji and Gib, it's going to be crazy. Let me know what you think. Break it down for me.
Again, man, I'm going with JJ. It's just if the fight is at the end of next year, it gives him more than enough time to prepare for the fight.
Yeah.
It gives him more than enough time to get himself in the shape that he needs to be in to compete. And I know the thing with JJ, he knows how much he rides on these events. He knows the pressure that comes with it, but he also reaps the rewards that's come with it. And he's seen that firsthand. Ton of pressure for the Logan fight, but he performed, came out the other side, elevated and boosted him to a whole new level. So I know when he's fighting for something, that's deeper than just the win. He realizes how much it influences his life, and that determination is second to none. His determination, work ethic is second to none. So I have to go with JJ, but it will be a tough fight. But JJ comes out on top.
It intrigues me because, you've been pretty much an athlete, you could say, most of your life now, being in the boxing scene. But how much has JJ's sort of, like, hard work ethic, not necessarily rubbed off on you, but how much have you taken from it? Because the guy, like, he smashes his music thing on tour, and then next thing you know, he's in a ring. To be fair, he's doing good with his YouTube again. He's uploading every week, multiple times. The work ethic from JJ, and I've followed him since I was younger as well. It's crazy. I don't understand how he doesn't burn out. I'm sure he has at one point, but how much has it like sort of rubbed off onto you?
Oh, of course, being around him and seeing what he's achieved. Someone that's so close, you realize, yeah, you can do it. I didn't have these doubts before, but it's reinforcing to be around someone with his work ethic, his mentality, and it shows you the one thing JJ showed me is he's shown me the insides of the industry and giving me advice on how certain things work on the YouTube scene, how the lifestyle that comes with it as well, if you work and push yourself. And it adds extra motivation because you want these things for yourself. You don't want to experience those things just because you're riding along or tagging along with someone who has it. You want to go get it for yourself. So yeah, he has definitely added some motivation to me and made me think, I can do this. I can be where you are. I can be further than where you are. And that stuff is just in due time. But no, definitely a motivator. And just reinforces that hard work, keep pushing, keep going, you'll get where you need to be.
Yeah, just a little touch on that JJ fight. Actually, they obviously look. The last fight JJ had was November last year. The last fight you were involved in was January. It looks like it's going to be obviously a massive break till that Jake Paul fight. Who knows? It might be taking place even toward the end of next year. You said that you're going to back off from the coaching side, but should it come like it's giving you plenty of time to do your own thing and focus on your own goals? Should it come round to a point where you've had a few fights, you've done a few things, you might take a month or two out of the ring. Would you be willing to get back and coach JJ? Because you're a great team.
No, I appreciate that, but I think JJ needs a different coach. I think he needs. As I said, I'll still be around because I'm never gonna let him go into a fight and not support him, not be there for him. But at the same time, there's world-class coaches out there. There's coaches out there that can teach him a ton more than I could teach him. I don't know if they'll be able to get through to him because sometimes the bond is stronger than.
We saw that physically as well. We saw that
with Shannon Briggs. We saw that Shannon Briggs, technically his fighter should have killed my fighter based on experience, but it's how you can get through to the person. But I do think it's time for JJ to expose himself to a better coach, or a coach with more credentials. Because I only started coaching because of him. If he can get with someone that's been coaching for a long time, I don't mind being there and just helping out with a few things, getting through to him a little bit. But he should come to the ring next time with a bona fide coach. Yeah. And that might make a big difference to his game.
Awesome, man. Listen, I appreciate your time. Any final words to the people watching?
Listen, thank you for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe to the Realist channel.
Cheers.
Follow me on any of my socials, which is all is it real ISITRIL. And yeah, love for the support and hatred.